Beneath the Jungle of Cozumel, Connecting the Crowns, Book 1, by Rob Netto, narration by the author. Foreword. The idea for the Beneath the Jungle of Cozumel and the Hidden Rivers of Florida series came to me after reading a book titled Lost and Found, Navigating New Lives and Love by Patrick Taylor. I met Pat on Facebook. I don't recall exactly how our paths crossed, whether one of his posts came up on my feed or I saw a comment he made on someone else's post. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we made an instant connection, and we've interacted with each other frequently since. I've learned a lot from Pat about marketing my books and getting them into the hands of more readers. Most of Pat's books have been on an Amazon bestseller list at one time or another. Some of them even live there. I've joked with Pat that this book is going to knock his book out of the top spot at some point. I can only dream that it will, even if just for an hour. What makes this even more fun is that, as I was working on this book, Pat began writing his first fiction book. We both crossed over into new genres. I've really enjoyed reading Pat's adventure books, and am looking forward to seeing how he does in the world of fiction. When I started writing this book, I had no idea it would turn into a series. I thought I would be able to cover all of my adventures in one book and be done with it. That couldn't be further from the truth. I currently have 2 more books in the Cozumel series planned, with the potential for a 4th and 5th book. The Florida series will have at least 3 books as well. And who knows? My adventures in Cozumel and Florida may lead to many more. There's still a lot to be done in both locales. The accounts in this book were written from memory. While I did use my old dialogues to get the order of the dives and the timeline correct, I didn't keep very detailed narratives or a journal. If you were a part of these adventures at any time, you might notice some discrepancies. I do believe what's written here is mostly accurate, and the overall story does describe how the exploration progressed. The minor discrepancies that may or may not exist don't detract from the end outcome one way or another. Anyone who has read my novels might also notice some incidents in this book that are also in those books. As authors, we write what we are familiar with. In the novels I write about cave diving, I use the experiences I've had during many of my dives to make the story seem more plausible. You might have thought some of that stuff was pure fiction. While the stories themselves are, many of the predicaments Joey and Lindsay have found themselves in are similar to ones I found myself in. So now you know those scenes aren't as far-fetched as you might have thought. What you may notice is that my writing style is slightly different in this book than in my fictional thrillers. I approach the writing in this book as if we were just sitting around a campfire telling stories. The tone is more conversational, less formal. I use the same approach in the side mount diving book. In no way is this book or any of the scenes included in it intended to disparage the reputation of any living or dead person. The account is written as I remember the events, and the events are written from my own perspective. My interpretations of the things I observed involving other parties on these trips might not be correct. They are simply my opinions and not meant to be presented as factual information. Finally, while I do explain some of the techniques and skills we incorporate when we cave dive, this is in no way meant to substitute for actual instruction and training in cave diving. If you are interested in learning how to cave dive, please find a qualified cave diving instructor and learn how to do it properly. Your life will depend on it.